I've been involved with helping a number of startup and mature companies grow and develop over time, and one of the biggest observations I've made is that naturally in New Zealand we all want to build our business through bootstrapping. So bootstrapping meaning we basically use our own cash flow to fund our business. Not enough business people sort of think about, well, what if someone injected $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million into a business, and what would that actually mean to how I would operate and how I think about my growth plans. That very nature has meant that NTT, in their wisdom, have funded a program, and it's called Escalator. Interesting enough, it didn't appear on the Escalator, on the NTT slides, which is...
I knew you were presenting.
I know, and it's, I'll write up the name here, it's escalator.co.nz. Now, from an entrepreneur's point of view, I believe this is one of the best bits of help you're going to get. One of the good things about this program is it's 100% at-risk funded. So in other words, if we do not raise money for you, you don't pay a cent. We're in the business of, unfortunately, the capital raising game and raising money is all about saying no. And I'll give you an example. With the Escalator service, we see 350 companies come into our business each year. We end up working very intensively with 60 to do 25 deals. So that business of saying no has a couple of consequences. You know, people say, investors are busy, they're saying we're all the good companies, and all the companies are saying we're all the good investors. Two things are actually happening. Either companies are going out there and they're putting their foot in it. So in other words, they make such a bad impression the first time up that very quickly the word around all the investors goes, this guy's crap, so don't deal with him. So that's it, you're blacklisted. The other flip side of that is you get money thrown into your business, and about a year into it, all of a sudden you find out you've got the investor from hell sitting around your board table. Two good reasons why you should come and see us at Escalator Service. We've got three main offerings. The first one is general education. We're doing a number of seminars. We've just doubled the size of our training program. We do some general capital raising information type seminars. We've got three other seminars I'll briefly mention. One's power pitching. It's amazing the amount of companies that cannot say in a very short, concise time what the hell their business is about. So you go to an investment pitch evening, go to an Angel HQ investment evening, and I've been to a number of these where someone gets 15 minutes, and at the end of 15 minutes you cannot even understand what the hell they do. Even more so, because they spend so long trying to explain what they do in words that no one understands, you never actually get to find out what the business is about, because investment is about putting money in and getting money out. So when investors want to hear about you, they want to understand about not only what your product is, but what is the business opportunity? How do you make money? How are you going to make more money for them? So that's the power pitching workshop. Two other workshops we've got coming up shortly. One in May is on contracts. Andrew Simmons, who was involved in the Trade Me deal, I approached him about doing a workshop on contracts, and I asked him to do term sheets and a couple of those sorts of things, and he said, no, let's do shareholders agreement. If you've got more than one shareholder in your company, you need to have a shareholders agreement that sticks. Terms of trade and employment contracts. Trade Me, when they did their deal, they did 2 lots of 6 weeks of due diligence. How come it was done so fast? It's because they had all the legal contracts and everything in place beforehand. The other one we've got coming up in June, we're going to run a workshop on the business of web. 99% of the companies that I reject for raising money, we are in the business of have a web business with no business model or any process around. They've got a great idea, but they haven't created a business. So that's the training programs. Free, doesn't cost anything to attend. NTT quite happily funds those. You should take advantage of those. Go to our website. The second tool that we provide to you, again, no strings attached. We will do a needs assessment on your business. We will spend up to $2,500 with a professional broker who knows the investment game to work out whether you're investment ready or not. I would recommend anyone who's looking at using capital raising down the track, or even considering whether capital raising is the most appropriate thing for them to do, to go in and apply to get a needs assessment done on their business. You can come through and get that done multiple times. It'll identify some gaps in what you need to do and plan ahead. The reality is raising money will take you between 6 and 12 months to raise, and it will take over 200 hours of your time. So you want to be ready and appropriate to do it in an appropriate stage. So go in and find out what's missing, and then you can find out and do that down the track. The third service we offer is actually helping you close a deal. This is the major amount of funding we put into companies. We'll put up to $20,000 into getting a professional broker to come and help you close that deal. So why do you want to get a broker in to help you? Couple of reasons. One, you want to make sure that someone is there to stand beside you and make sure you get the best deal possible, and you want to end up in partnership and have the right people on the other side of the table so you don't have the shareholder from hell. So our process works quite simply. You go online and apply. That's the 350 companies. We very quickly whittle that down to 175. The 175 companies, if you've got some concept of a business plan, it doesn't need to be a huge big document. It could be just a whole lot of bullet points on an A4 sheet of paper, and the ability to provide some financial projections. Without financial projections, we cannot get off the mark. We then very quickly we will then do needs assessments. So you've got to qualify to that point, which is quite simple if you've got a business rather than a hobby, and the big difference between a business and a hobby is you're going to make some money. So you go from the 175, we will then do needs assessment on 175 companies each year to end up with 60 companies that we will take through the deal making process. So we will spend up to $2,500 on you there, and up to $20,000 down here. When you get to this point here, we take you to our panel, and at that point we sign you up to a contract. And the contract says if we raise the money for you, then you pay us a success fee. So who's delivering this service? We have two main partners who are actually delivering the service, Deloitte and iGrow, and we also have a number of independent accredited brokers around the country, depending on your specialist area, will actually help you go out and raise the money. The great thing about this service is you're actually getting to deal with people who are actually out there networking and talking to the angels, talking to the high net worths, the people out there that can close the deal and make sure that you get the best deal, and equally so actually raise the money on the terms that are actually going to be of benefit for you. We are in the process, there's lots of no's we've got to go through down the stage here, but our plan really is through that process is to actually educate people. There's lots of professional providers that you can pay lots of money to, they'll tell you how great you are, but what we're there to do is actually help you face up. Now sometimes it may just simply a case of, hey, this capital raising is not the most appropriate thing for you to do, maybe you're better off to go and do some debt financing, maybe you're better off to go and do a licensing deal or a strategic partnership. We also allow people, and we use this process here to actually take people through joint ventures, licensing deals, strategic partnerships. The types of deals that we're working on are typically between $100,000 and $5 million. That's the range of the companies that we're dealing with. I often get asked, what are the big reasons why people get turned down? It's amazing the number of times that we have got these huge perception gaps between what your company's worth and what you want for it. Equally so, whether or not you're willing to work with an investor and have them sit around your governance table and actually provide input. So many people go out into business by themselves because they like working for themselves and hate working for anyone else, but unfortunately the reality of this game is that you're going to have someone else pulling some strings for you. Any general questions? What I have done at the back, this book called Investment Ready Guide, I've got a whole pile of them down the back there. I would recommend all of you, if you're interested in raising money, take it away. There's the application process is real simple. 10 minutes filling out a form and attach a couple of documents and you'll be into our system. Brendan at the help desk will then follow up with a call. I would encourage you to make use of the needs assessment if nothing else, find out where your business is at and where the gaps are, help plan ahead, and make use of our training programs which are fully funded by NZTE.